Hello, good morning. Our first issue is monetization of assets and FSDC meeting. Financial Stability and Development Council (FSDC) is the apex agency that coordinates with various financial regulators such as SEBI, RBI, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, Pension Fund Regulatory Development Authority, etc. This particular council is headed by Finance Minister. And this meeting is going to be held this week to relax the norms and to harmonize the investment norms in instruments such as infrastructure investment trust, real estate investment trust, etc. This will help in monetizing the public assets such as highways, gas pipelines, railway tracks, etc. That's why to bring in the coordination among the financial sector regulators, FSDC is trying to bring in certain common rules and common ground between all the regulators. This will help in the national monetization pipeline. Next issue is Deepar Beel. Deepar Beel means Deepar Lake. Deepar Beel is the largest freshwater lake in Assam and is the only Ramsar site in the state of Assam, and it is also declared as important bird area. The threats to this particular Ramsar site include 1. The railway track that goes south of this particular Ramsar site and a dumping site nearby, and commercial encroachment for commercial purposes and human habitations. These are all the threats to it. And this has been declared as eco-sensitive zone. And among the eco-sensitive zones, hydroelectric projects, brick kilns, commercial use of firewood, discharge of untreated wastewater, these are all prohibited. As this is declared as eco-sensitive zone, this will be further protected. Deepar Beel will be further protected. In our prelims examination, they might ask us various locations. Out of them, this is important, Deepar Beel. Next issue is Edakkal Caves. Edakkal Caves is located in Kerala's Wayanad district, Ambukuthi Hills. And this particular caves are famous for Neolithic petroglyphs, that is, Neolithic rock engravings. So this particular one is considered as a treasure trove for archaeologists, historians and researchers, but it is facing threats from illegal trekking, illegal construction, mining in the nearby areas and urbanization. Such caves which have cultural and historical importance needs to be protected. Next issue is merger of black holes. Recently an international team, among them majorly Indians, so they have spotted the merger of 3 huge black holes. So the data for this particular one is obtained from AstroSat among other telescope. AstroSat is India's first and important astronomical observatory. All the 3 merging black holes, these were part of galaxies in Token constellation. These are far away from the Earth's nearest galaxy, that is Andromeda galaxy. This is the Earth's nearest galaxy, but this one, Token constellation, is the far away galaxy. The distance between 2 black holes over a period of time, they reduce until the separation is around 1 parasec. 1 parasec means 3.26 light years. So the separation that will go away as they reach this distance, parasec distance. 2 black holes, they are unable to lose their further kinetic energy. So that's why the merger is little different. So this is known as final parasec problem. But presence of third black hole, this can solve this problem. When these 2 come closer, the third one, this combines with the other 2 black holes. This process solves this parasec problem. So this is the phenomena that we have recently observed, merger of 3 black holes. Merger of black holes, they lead to gravitational waves. Gravitational waves are disturbances in the time and space in the universe. Next issue is hydropower projects in Himalayas. In the year 2019, various ministries including Ministry of Power, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Jal Shakti, they agreed to allow 7 Himalayan hydel projects. Recently in Supreme Court, a petition is filed based on which the central government has submitted an affidavit which has said that the ongoing hydroelectricity projects, including Tapovan hydroelectricity project, which got affected during the recent flash floods in Uttarakhand. They were approved after 2013 Uttarakhand floods. In 2013, Uttarakhand has experienced severe flash floods. Even after that, hydroelectricity projects were approved because they were already 50% completed. That's why we approved them. No other new projects would be allowed in the upper reaches of Ganga river region. Why? What happens if the hydroelectricity projects are approved in the Himalayan region? Himalayan region is sensitive for various earthquakes because it is seismically active. Plus, the slopes are fragile, because of which any kind of instability can lead to landslides. This can severely affect the construction of various projects such as the hydroelectricity projects. That is why the central government has mentioned that further projects won't be constructed, but as these are already 50% completed, we have approved them. That is the explanation given by the central government. Next issue is ISKP and Kabul bombings. ISKP means Islamic State of Khorasan province. Khorasan is a place in Afghanistan. This ISKP is the one behind the Kabul bombings. Taliban in 2015 it has asked the IS to stop recruiting from the Khorasan province from the Afghanistan, but IS faction, which is known as ISKP, they didn't stop the recruiting the Taliban fighters. They didn't stop the terror activities. Many radicalized youth from many countries, including from India, traveled to Afghanistan to join this particular IS to live an Islamic life under the Caliphate rule. USA has done many targeted attacks on IS in Afghanistan, including this mother of all bombs, GBU 43/B. This is considered as heaviest bomb that has been launched till now, which is known as mother of all bombs. It is the heaviest non-nuclear bomb, most powerful non-nuclear bomb. It has been targeted on IS caves in the eastern Afghanistan. In this context now, ISKP is re-emerging. This particular one poses challenges and threats to everyone in the neighborhood, including in India. Next issue is IBC, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code was passed as a bill in 2016. This has helped India from emerging from feudalistic system where corporate debtor, if he wants to pay back, he will pay back, otherwise he will file an IP. So from such system to divine control, that is creditor control. Creditors means two types of creditors, financial creditors and operational creditors. That means those who have given the loan or those who have given the services or raw materials, they will control the insolvency process under IBC. Recently, Corporate Affairs Ministry has said that it is working with Finance Ministry, RBI and Indian Banks Association on the code of conduct for the creditors, because committee of creditors, they have to approve the resolution plan. If they are not approving, the asset is going to be sold out, which is known as liquidation, and the money is distributed among the creditors. Now, code of conduct for them, it will help them for the timely resolution. Recently, many of the creditors, some of them are not taking the resolutions, some of them are taking the steep haircuts. So that's why recent instances of steep haircuts, so that necessitated for this kind of code of conduct among the committee of creditors. That's why overall, slowly IBC process improvements, government is trying to bring in the improvisations in IBC. Next issue is Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Recently, RBI has announced Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme 2021-22. This is the sixth one in the series. What do we mean by Sovereign Gold Bond? The government through RBI releases sovereign gold bonds. The value of the gold bond traces the value of gold. That means gold is seen as an investment avenue. So instead of investing in the physical gold, we can invest in the bond, which traces its value to the gold value. That can lessen the import burden of the gold on India. It saves the precious forex reserves. So that's why sovereign gold bond schemes are introduced. and the face value, nominal value of the bond depends upon the simple average closing price of gold for 999 purity for the last 3 business days of the prescribed subscription period. Subscription period means gold bond issue period. During that period, the average 3 days price is calculated, and based on that, gold bond price is decided by the RBI. Next, let us understand the editorials. First one is judicial appointments. 9 judges are appointed to the Supreme Court. Overall strength of the Supreme Court is 34 judges, 1 CJI and 33 other Supreme Court judges. Now, after the judicial appointments through the collegium recently, overall strength is around 33. In this context, what we have to remember is judicial appointments, timely appointments, keeping in mind greater consideration to social and regional representation is important. This will less vacancies fastens the justice delivery. Justice delivery depends upon the number of vacancies too. That's why quick resolution, quick processing of names and greater consideration are good. Next issue is asset monetization and the implementation issues. Asset monetization means there are assets such as roads, coal mines, etc. These will be given to the private sector at a lump sum amount for a, let's say, 30-50 years period. At the end of the period, assets are returned to the government. It is different from privatization. Privatization means assets are permanently given to the private sector. Here, in the asset monetization, these are not given to the private sector directly, but private sector takes them for few years. They will have control over them for few years. After that, they return it to the government. And the government parts with these assets for a specified period of time. So then, unlike privatization, here there are two things that needs to be kept in mind. First one, public authority has inherent advantages on the funding side. Monetization through investment instruments is less problematic than PPP route. So plus better monetization of underutilized, they will provide the better resources, plus proper execution. For proper execution, if there is a separate agency which tracks the assets, etc., that would be good. Next issue is Kerala's rising COVID wave. Because of Delta variant, Delta surge, cases are reported. 60% of all active cases in India as of now are from Kerala. What is the reason? Infection rates are less. That is why earlier infection rates are less. That is why now more infection rates are there. Plus testing is more frequent as compared to other areas. That is also one of the reasons. In this context, natural infection rates are increasing, plus vaccination is also increasing. So within a few weeks, this will stabilize. For that, proper tracing, testing, treating is important. Rapid vaccination is important. But if we compare the mortality rates in Kerala, though the number of cases are high, mortality rates are less because more testing, more precautionary measures. Beforehand itself, people are isolated, because of which mortality rates are less in Kerala in spite of having high number of cases. These are the articles for today. Notes is available in the description. Thank you very much. All the very best.